Good morning, friends. This is Ranganathan again with you. We are on the 47th theme presentation out of the 50 themes, which is being done to commemorate the 70th year of diplomatic relations between Japan and India. We did a number of things from the Chennai ABK Hotel Dosokai this year, a year full of events to commemorate this. And one of them we wanted to do was something very different. That is introducing Japan, its background, culture, history through Japanese stamps. It's a philatelic presentation. Way back, there was a very famous American athlete. Many of you may be knowing him by name Carl Lewis. Carl Lewis was the first American athlete who ran 100 meters dash within 10 seconds. They asked him, how did he manage to do within 10 seconds? Lewis said, when I start the race, I see only the man in front of me. I try to run, overtake him, then see the next man, overtake him. Then I see the next man, overtake him. And finally, I only see the tape. I don't see anybody between me and tape. Though I cannot still say it, at least now I am on the 47th. The tape is now visible to me, the 50th, another 3 more presentations to go. Thank you all very much for staying with me. I would like to especially thank the International Society for Japanese Philately and the South Indian Philatelist Association. And of course, my own organization, ABK Hotel Dosakai Tamil Nadu Center, for supporting me right through this journey. Last week, we talked about the 1964 Olympics. Of course, 2020 was the next Olympics, but unfortunately, COVID put some obstacles. Of course, Japan, very well known for its never give up spirit and perseverance, still did the 2020 Olympics, though slightly postponed in 2021. Today, I'll be presenting the philatelic presentation of 2020 or 2021 Japanese Olympics. Thank you all very much for staying with me. The Japan Olympics, the 2020 Olympics, the stadium, the first day inaugural ceremony is there. Again, the 1972, we had Winter Olympics after the 1964 Summer Olympics. That's where we start our presentation today. 1972 Winter Olympics, officially the 11th Winter Olympic Games and commonly known as Sapporo 1972, was a winter multi-sport event held from February 3rd to 13th February 1972 in Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. It was the first Winter Olympic Games to take place outside Europe and North America. So Japan again takes the credit of hosting the first Winter Olympics outside Europe and North America in Asia. The Sapporo first won the rights to host the 1940 Winter Olympics, but Japan resigned as the game's host after the 1937 invasion of China. So 1940 games were later cancelled. All the cities that were awarded the games were cancelled due to war during that period. Sapporo competed with Banff, Lahti, and Salt Lake City in different countries, and the games was awarded at the 64th IOC session in Rome on April 26, 1966. In preparation, the Japanese constructed new large-scale facilities at Sapporo and conducted a trial run a full 1 year ahead of the games. Because Japanese always want to make sure that nothing goes wrong, so this trial becomes very important to them. An International Sport Week was held on February 1971 to assess the city's preparations, as well as to test its civic, mental, and hospitality. And this effort was acclaimed by Olympic observers as a complete success. The development of the new infrastructure proved to be a huge boon to the Sapporo economy, by the time the games, the national government has invested something like $500 million in upgrades, including a new subway. The games organizers themselves turned a healthy profit in part because they arranged a record 8.47 million for broadcast rights. So that's a scene of the Olympics there. Emperor Hirohito became the third dignitary to open the Olympic Games twice. First time he did the Summer Olympics in 1964. Then again in the 11th Winter Olympics was inaugurated by him. This is after Adolf Hitler, who had done the Winter and Summer Olympics in 1936 in Germany, and Gronchi in Winter 1956 and Summer 1960. Then Chamonix 1924 Winter Olympic Games, athletic festival held in France that took place on January 25th and February 5th between the 2 dates in 1924. Well organized and new and equipped with new facilities, the event was a success and led to the International Olympic Committee to amend its charter in 1925, establishing the Winter Games. Chamonix was thereafter recognized as the first Winter Olympics. Now, for promoting the first Winter Olympics in Asia at Sapporo, Japan, and Japan Post released 2 stamps in February 1971, a set of 3 stamps under souvenir sheet in 3rd February 1972 as to commemorate these stamps for the event. On the top, you can see the 1971 2 stamps, a ski jumper and ice hockey players. Now, kindly watch the logos I have marked with a circle because we'll be talking about the logos a little later. And then down below, you have 3 stamps, 20, 50, and 20. And there is a souvenir sheet with the same 3 stamps. This was released in 1972. The top 2 were released in 1971. Let's see the details of the stamps down the line with the other slides. The emblem, Nagai's design was chosen. It is on a competitive basis, emblem has to be designed. Nagai's design that was chosen became the official emblem of the Sapporo Games. It represents the combination of 3 independent elements. One is the rising sun, that's a symbol of Japan, a snowflake, sketch of the coat of arms in the ancient Japanese family, and symbol of the winter, the rings with inscription Sapporo 72. Okay, the Olympic rings and Sapporo 72. And there's a poster, you can see the poster down below. Various well-known Japanese designers were involved in the creation of these posters. The first one was designed by Takashi Kono, the second and third were Yasuko Kamekura, and the fourth by Gan Oyosa. Posters were released, one of the well-accepted posters shown here. And emblem, a little talk about emblem because I showed the emblem earlier. As with the Tokyo 1964 Summer Games emblem, the red circle was also used as the most striking element of the Winter Games to establish the clear link with Japan. The symbol of the rising sun is also depicted in the Japanese national flag called Hinamaru. And in addition, Nagai designed a stylish snow crystal symbolizing winter. The origin in the first appearance of this symbol, which is supposed to represent the first snow, goes back to the Heian period, 1781 to 1185 AD. The use of this ancient symbol of the Winter Games emblem thus created a bridge between the past and the present, while the Olympic rings, the name Sapporo year 1972, represents the present and the snowflakes the past. The jury liked this enormous flexibility as it could easily be used in vertical, horizontal, square versions in different colors. That's what I showed you by marking the 2 circles around the 2 stamps of 1971. One, you can see the emblem in vertical, other one it is in horizontal. Both have been used, the same symbol. It had the flexibility of whether horizontal or vertical. So the juries like this. Even integration of the sports pictogram was possible in this. Now, you can see this thing. Now, the first 1971 was promoted, though the Olympics was 72. Before that, in the month of February, 6th of February, this stamp was released on ski jumping. Ski jumping is a winter sport in which the competitors aim to achieve the furthest jump after sliding down on their skis from a specially designed curved ramp. Along with the jump length, competitors' aerial style with the other factors also affect the final score. In 1964, the second ski jump, the normal hill at 70 meters, K90, was added along with the 80 meters, K120, a large hill. This stamp, you can see also there is a square of the block of 4 with margins. This stamp was released in 1971, February 6, 28 by 39 millimeters multicolor stamp. It's a semi-postal emission, and it's printed in photogravure, and it had you can see 15 plus 5. The 5 goes for the Sapporo Olympics part. Then you can see this ice hockey. The previous one, if you see for a minute, this is an horizontal, the logo is horizontal. Here it's vertical. Ice hockey is a contact winter team sport played on ice skates, usually on ice skating ring with lines and markings specified to the sport. In ice hockey, 2 opposing teams use ice hockey sticks to control, advance, and shoot a closed, vulcanized rubber disc called the puck into the other team's goal. Each goal is worth 1 point. The team which scores the most goals within a specific time is declared as a winner. In formal games, each team has 6 skaters on the ice at a time, barring any penalties. In 1971, this stamp was released on, like the earlier stamp, on February 26th, on the same this thing. It's a 15 plus 5 yen stamp, 5 yens going for the fund. Then 1972, when the Sapporo Olympics was there, these 3 stamps were released. The first stamp, ski jumper, released on February 3rd, 26 by 36 millimeters, a commemorative stamp for the event. And then it's a 20 yen stamp. Okay, this does not have a fund, it does not have a plus, you can see that. And then the second stamp is a figure skating stamp, 1972, February 3rd. And then it's a 50 yen. The last one is also released in 1972, February 3rd. It's a commemorative stamp, 20 yen. Let's see what these stamps are about. Now, the last stamp, which I showed, 20 yen stamp, okay, it's a bobsledge or bobsled, is a team winter sport that involves making timed runs down a narrow, twisting, banked ice tracks in a gravity-powered sledge. International bobsled competitors are governed by the International Bobsledge and Skeleton Federation, known as the FIBT. Modern bobsledge teams compete to complete the downhill route on the fastest time. An aggregate time from several runs is used to determine the winners. A 4-man team event has been featured since the first Winter Games in 1924 in France. The 2-man event was introduced in 1932 games, and the 2-women team event was first contested in 2002 Winter Olympics. The women's monobob event was introduced in 2022 games. Now, this stamp was released in 1972, February 3rd, 28 by 36 millimeters commemorative stamp printed in photogravure, 20 yen. Then the ski jump stamp, again a 20 yen stamp. Alpine skiing at the 1972 Winter Olympic consists of 6 events held in February 5th to 13th near Sapporo, Japan. The downhills were held at Mount Anniver and 4 technical events at Teine. Alpine skiing or downhill skiing is a pastime sliding down the snow-covered slopes of on skis with fixed heel bindings, like other type of skiing, which is called as cross-country or telemark or ski jumping, which uses skis with free heel bindings. Now, alpine skiing has been an event with the Winter Olympic Games since 1936. modern Salonum was introduced in Oslo in 1886. Now, this stamp again is 1872. You can see the snow-clad mountains of Alpine mountains at the back, and then it's a commemorative stamps, 20 yen. Then we have the beautiful stamp of figure skating. Figure skating is a sport in which individuals, pairs, or groups perform on figure skates on ice. It is the first winter sport to be included in the Olympic Games when contested in the 1908 Olympics in London. Olympic disciplines are men's singles, women's singles, pair skating, and ice dance. The 4 individual disciplines are also combined into a team event. Depending on the discipline, may include spins, jumps, moves in the field, and lifts, throw jumps, death spirals, and other moves. So based on all these things, a pair is being adjusted as a best this 1972 February 3rd. This stamp is 51 by 36 millimeters multicolor, and it's a commemorative stamp. And then you can see the mini sheet on the left-hand side, consisting of you have 8 stamps in the mini sheet. But if you see, actually it's 10. I'm sorry, it's 10 stamps, and they are multicolor. On the right-hand side, you have the souvenir sheet, which shows all the 3 stamps together in one sheet. So you have a mini sheet and a souvenir sheet, released again in 1972, February 3rd. And the thing is 90 yens. The souvenir sheet is 90 yens, and the mini sheet is 500 yens. Putting all the 10 stamps together, that's 500 yens. Now, it's an oversized birthday cover in Republica de Guinea Equatorial. They had this first day cover, and it is a cancelled posted first day cover with all the different stamps that were released for that 1972. Now, after that, they had the second Winter Olympics in 1998 called the Nagano Winter Olympics. It's a beautiful sheet that was released for the Nagano Winter Olympics. The 10 stamps which depict the winter sports 80 yen and the flowers 50 yens were issued to commemorate the Winter Olympic Games at Nagano. Each stamp shows either one color or 5-ring Olympic emblem on the background, and or the flowers the color of the 5 rings. The size of the sheet is 141 by 213 millimeters. In the sheet margin at the right-hand side, the emblem of Nagano, you can see on the right-hand side, and the snowlets, the mascots of the Olympic Games, are shown together with a message from around the world to flower as one. We want to make winter, my friend, meet people from all over the world, and my dream will come true in Nagano. These are the messages that were printed on the side, where the mascots are there, which are called as snowlets. And you have the Nagano 1998. There is a poster cum stamp. The poster has been made into a stamp of 80 yens. And then, of course, we have the sheet on the right-hand side, which is 80 yens and 50 yen stamps combined together, made as a settlement. So it has got a vertical settlement, or horizontal settlement, and as a sheet, you can take it. Of course, they don't sell the stamps of this thing. You buy a sheet, and you can tear them in settlement and use them. Now, this stamp was released on 5th February 1998, 80 yens 5 and 50 yens 5. And then the 80 yen stamp was showing snowboarding, curling, speed skating, in cross-country, alpine skiing. These are the 5 stamps that they had. And on the 50 yens, okay, Miyama Rindo, the flowers that they have, Ryukinka and Kuroyuri and Yamashikabu and Kotokuri. These are the Olympic rings colored stamps. The stamps are of the flowers are the same colors of the Olympic rings that are used on the side. There are 10 stamps. And Winter Olympics Nagano 1998 had some new events. Snowboarding debuted as the first official discipline. Curling returned to Olympic winter program, this time with a tournament for both men and women. Ice hockey, for the first time, men's ice hockey tournament is open to all professionals, and women ice hockey was introduced to Olympic as an Olympic program. The inspired team from Czech Republic scored a surprise victory on this ice hockey. Memorable champions, Bojan Dial of Norway won 3 gold medals in the Nordic skiing and became the first athlete to earn 8 career Winter Olympic gold medals in 12 medals and 12 medals in all. Tara Lipsinski of the US won the women's figure skating title to become at 15, the youngest champion in an individual event at the Olympic Winter Games. Now, the spectacular spirit of a person was exhibited during that. The spirit of the games was exemplified by the alpine skier Hermann Mayer of Austria. He took a spectacular fall from downhill, flying off the slope at 120 kilometers an hour and remaining airborne for more than 3.5 seconds. He courageously recovered to earn the gold medals in both Super G and Giant Slalom. Now, you see the snowlets that were in Nagano Olympics. They are there. The 3 stamps are given here. One is the Saturn that you see. Other one is, you can see the flowers of Nagano in different colors of the Olympic ring. That is released in 19, that's 80 plus 10 yens. 10 yens goes to the fund. 1977, February 7th, 28 by 39 millimeters multicolor stamp and semi-postal stamp. And the photo give you printed and phosphorescent paper. And the Saturn shows the owlets, the Nagano Olympics mascot called Suki, Noki, Lekki, and Suki. So there's the names of this thing: Suki, Noki, Lekki, and Suki. And then the 4 owlets are given there. Owlets is nothing other than small owls, which are known very well in that area. It's a snow country where you can see this winter snow. You can see these small owls there. The 1997 February 7th, this was there. 28 by 13 millimeters, like the first stamp. Again, 10 plus 10 yens. All the stamps, they carry a 10 and plus to the fund. Now, what is this? Suki, Noki, Lekki, and Suki. Owls, Suki, Noki, Lekki, and Suki are also known as snowlets. Snow refers to the winter session during which games take place, and lets refers to let's an invitation to join the games celebration. In addition, the first 2 letters of the 4 names from the word sowlets is snow owlets, meaning young owls. And Suki, Noki, Lekki, and Suki are 4 snow owls. They represent respectively fire, that is Suki, air, Noki, and earth, Lekki, and water, Suki. The choice of 4 mascots is a nod for the 4 years that make up for an Olympiad. That's the background about this thing. And originally, Nagano Games mascots were going to be a vessel called Snowpill. Owls were venerated in Japan. Owls are venerated around the world as having the wisdom of the woods. In Greek mythology, the owl is associated with Athena, the goddess of wisdom. And of course, in Japan, they are also linked to long life. The 4 snowlets names were chosen from among the 47,484 suggestions. This agency responsible for creating the mascots was the same as the one that designed the torch for the Atlanta Games in 1996. Also took part in the designing mascots for Salt Lake City in 2002. So there is a designer involved with this thing. And then Nagano Winter Olympics, February 5th, 1998. You can see this Saturn pair of stamps. And it's a also it has got a sheet, 20 stamps. Okay, and then this was released 1998 February 5th, 56 by 37 millimeters Saturn, and 130 yens is the price of this stamp. Now, Athens 2004 Olympics, again Japan released this set of stamps. Before I come to 2020 Olympics, I just want to take you through the journey with the other Olympics. Athens 2004 Summer Olympics, officially the games of the 2025 28th Olympiad, also known as Athens 2004, were an international multi-sport event held from 13th to 29th August 2004 in Athens, Greece. Now you can see the stamps. The one is an individual stamp, other one is a Saturn and pair, released on 2004 August 6th. The individual stamps are 28 by 39 millimeters, and the Saturn is 56 by 39 millimeters, all commemorative stamps, and 80 ends is the face value printed in photogravure with ordinary paper. Now, that is the sheet, the full sheet is there. And also you can see a first day cover and with the cancellation on the first day cover. Of course, not posted, it's just first day cover for a keepsake. Athens 2004, released on August 2004, which I explained. 2004 games marked the first time since 1996 Summer Olympics that all countries with a National Olympic Committee were in attendance. And also marked the first time Athens hosts the games since their first modern incarnation in 1896, as well as the return of Olympics to its birthplace. So that's a beautiful sheet of stamps that you can see. Now, Japan Sports 100th anniversary. Now, if you see, this is Japan Sports 100th anniversary, Tokyo Olympics 1964. So you can see this stamp released on 2011, July 8, 28 by 39 millimeters, commemorative of printed offset photography, ATNs, showing an event of the Tokyo Olympics 1964. Okay, this shows different Olympics, and for Japan Sports 100th anniversary, from each Olympic event has been taken and placed, and ATN stamps have been released. Then Japan first participation in Olympic Games in 1912, about which we also talked last time about the father of Japanese marathon also. 2011, July 8, 28 by 39 millimeters is the ATN stamp released on 2011. Then we have the Sapporo Olympic Games in 1972, where the event was ski jumping, that we have talked about ski jumping. And this is a 28 by 39 millimeters commemorative stamp, ATN. Then we have the Nagano Winter Olympic Games 1998. Okay, that's Japan. In everything you see the marking as Japan Sports 100th anniversary. Japan is a sports-loving country, and not only there's a sports-loving country, and everything they involve themselves fully, and they have been on the talk how well the players left the locker rooms in beautiful condition as their thing, and how Japanese cleaned up their own stands before they left the stadium. Even if they lose the match, it doesn't matter, but they'll clean the stadium. Even the parents tell their children when they eat, "Kirei ni tabete kudasai," which means beautifully, eat beautifully, which means don't leave anything on the plate. Eat everything, because Japan has gone through the World War, and after the food scarcity, so the value food. But today's younger generation may not value the same as a post-war generation. So those post-war generation parents tell their children, "Kireni tabite kudasai." That means your plate should look as beautiful as if nothing was eaten from that. So Japan is, when they involve in sports, they also clean up their stadiums as well. It doesn't look as if people are sitting there. And then for the Beijing Olympic Games in 2008, this stamp was released. Again, all the stamps are released in 2011, July 8th. all of the same size, 28 by 39 millimeters, ordinary paper, 8 years. And then, now, this stamp was interesting stamp that is released in, I think it is released in Korea. Okay, these stamps are limited edition versions released for every Japanese medalist at the 2018 Pyeongchang Olympics. That's the Korean Olympic, sold by the post office at 1,400 yens per pen. Mini sheets released 2018 February 15. They were all Winter Olympic medalists in 2018. You can see first is Daiichi Hara, Miho Takaki, and Sara Takahashi, and Ayumi Hirono, Akito Watanabe. These are the players who are gold medalists. Then, this was also sold in the Japanese post office at 1,400 yens per pen, but they were released by Korea. And then we have the Kodaira, Mino Takaki, and Yoshiro Hanyu, Shomo Uno, and Kodaira, the first, same person. She also got again another gold medal. She is here. Now, we are coming to the Olympic and Paralympic 2020, the most talked about. And one of my nephews, he was also as a volunteer because he was a student in the Waseda University. Most of the university students from Waseda, they were taken as volunteers to support the players and also the timers, juries, everybody. And it was a great experience for the children who are studying at that point of time. They can witness the Olympics as well as participate indirectly into the Olympics. Now, this is a beautiful sheet. You can see the logo is there. We'll talk about the logo a little later. There is a sheet which shows the Tokyo and Paralympic 2020. Originally scheduled to take part from August 25th to 6th September 2020. Both the 2020 Summer Olympics and Paralympics were postponed by a year in March 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and with the rescheduled games still referred to as Tokyo 2020 for the marketing and branding purposes. This stamp sheet that you see, 168 by 120 millimeters. If you see, it has got 10 stamps and multicolor. And these stamps are 82 yens plus 10 yens for the fund. It's a semi-postal mini sheet, and comb 13.5 is the perforation, and ordinary gum, and printed by offset lithography. You can see the same two logos here at 80 yens a stamp. 82 plus 10 yens. 2019, March 12th, 28 by 13 millimeter stamp, semi-postal. And these two stamps are here. We'll talk about these maskets down in the presentation. Now, Miraitova and Somaiti, the two names of this thing, Miraitova and Somaiti. Miraitova Japanese is the official mascot of the 2020 Summer Olympics. The guy with the blue eyes and printed in blue. And Somaiti Japanese is the official mascot of 2020 Summer Paralympics. That is in the other pink color. The events were held in Tokyo, Japan 2021. The checkered design on both mascots was inspired by the Ichimatsu Moyo pattern of the Tokyo 2020 official logo, while Somaiti pink design was inspired by cherry blossoms. Both fictional characters have various superpowers such as teleportation. Now you can see the second pair of stamps here. The Moritova and Somaiti with the Tokyo 2020 symbol. Created by the Japanese artist Ryo Taniguchi, the mascots were selected from a competitive process that took place in late 2017 and early 2018, almost 2 years before. Because the promotion has to take place, they have to make promotional goods, sell those goods, make the money to support the preparation and infrastructure facilities that were created. A total of 2,048 candidate designs were submitted to the Tokyo 2020 organizing committee, which then selected 3 pairs of unnamed mascot designs from the batch to represent the Japanese elementary school students for the final selection. So they sent them to the Japanese elementary school students for final selection. The results of the selection were announced on 28 February 2018 and mascots were named on 22nd July 2018. It's a very interesting process that I just wanted to present in selecting the mascots. Okay. Apart from the emblem, these stamps show the 2 mascots for Olympic blue-black Morikawa in the official 2020 Summer Olympics, and then the mascots helped financing the Tokyo Games through merchandising and licensing deals. That is where the mascots become very important to the Olympic Committee. Okay. And then Morikawa named after Japanese words of future, Mirai and eternity, Toa. And Somaiti named after Someisho, Somei Yoshino, a type of cherry blossom. Okay. And Somaiti's name also echoes the English phrase so mighty. So the mascots help financing Tokyo Games through merchandising and licensing deals. That is the name of this, the meaning of the names of the 2 logos. Now, this is a very interesting stamp again. This stamp was released on 2020 March 10th. Okay, 187.5 by 127.5 millimeters, multicolor. Designer Akira Tamake. Akira Tamake is very well known stamp designer. He has designed a number of stamps. Most of the stamps you can see his name, and it's a mini sheet form showing you the Olympic torch and commemorative. The perforation is 14 by 14.25 comb and offset lithographic printing, gum ordinary, and the face value is 10 into 84 inch stamp. Now, the interesting part of this stamp, why I'm talking about this stamp was withdrawn from sale on 2020 March 31. Please see, this stamp was on sale only for 21 days due to the postponement of the torch relay, because this shows the torch being relayed, torch relay and the Olympics. But again, it was reinstated in the mid-August so that people can buy and funds can be raised. Now, the overview, 75 stamps, 3 sheets, souvenir sheet, 2 booklets, they are all the things that are printed for the 2020 Olympics. You can see the folder that they created for that down below. And you can see the souvenir sheet on the top. You can see souvenir sheet, Tokyo 2020 is as well. Down below is a folder that they put this thing. The stamps show 50 sports events held at Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games and 23 sports events held at the Tokyo 20 Paralympic Games. Unlike the 1964 Olympics, where we had the diamond-shaped stamps, only not so many, but few of them, and here they had more of this thing. So what they had done, apart from the individual stamps that you can have, they were all sold as stamp sheets. There were 3 sheets that covered all the events, and there were 2 booklets. One of them is shown here. The stamp designers were Junko Kaibuchi, Ichi Kasuda, and Akira Tamaki, Tomi Nakamaru, Rika Yoshiyama, Satoshi Murayama, Yasuko Yamada, Ayumi Yoshikawa. These are the people. This was released on June 23rd, 2021. Okay. Tokyo Olympics 2020 had an interesting background. Tokyo 2020 was a successful bid for the 2020 Summer Olympics by the city of Tokyo and the Japanese Olympic Committee. On September 7, 2013, at the 125th International Olympic Committee session in Buenos Aires, Tokyo won their bid to host the Games. Tokyo previously hosted the 1964 Summer Olympics. On August 3rd, 2016, it is reported that the International Olympic Committee approved the addition of 5 sports to the program of 2020 Olympics, including the return of baseball and softball. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Summer Olympics ended up being rescheduled from 24 July 2020 to 23rd July 2021, almost by a year. Now, how did they get this? French-Japanese TV announcer Crystal Takigawa, the lady you can see the beautiful Japanese lady on the right-hand side in the picture, okay, made a promotional speech as the ambassador of the Olympics 2020 for Tokyo to the 125th session of the International Olympic Committee at Buenos Aires on the 8th of September 2013. Okay, using a dazzling smile, okay, and a graceful gestures. When we talk about smile, I just want to add, if you go to Japanese McDonald's, the last item in the list of items that is being sold, there's a big board. The last item in the price list is smile 0 ends. That means in this shop, you will get smile. It costs you nothing, and all our employees know how to smile. Even the delivery boys of McDonald's, they know. They've been taught to smile. Smile, just a Japanese proverb, which says, a smile can heal a wounded heart. So, smile is very important. So, this lady uses dazzling smile and graceful gestures. Takigawa precisely spelled out Omotenashi as a core attribute of Japan's legendary hospitality and wonder days, so to speak. She said, Japan is very famous for Omotenashi. Omotenashi, the simple English translation is with hospitality. But almost all Japanese words cannot be translated using a translation tool or a dictionary, because there's so much of meaning, inner meaning, feeling, emotions, and the way they approach, they're all there. And then in Japan, there is a deep-rooted culture which comes from the Sado tea ceremony, which is called, this deep-rooted culture is called as Omotenashi, meaning to wholeheartedly look after guests. Because in Japan, a guest is not considered as king. People say, your guest is like a king. In Japan, Okyaku-san kami-sama desu. Okay, Okyaku-san is the customer. Customer is not king, but customer is God. So that's what they try to express in every action of theirs. Not spelling it out, but you have to feel it. They got to make sure the customer feels that response by the Japanese. So Omotenashi is hospitality, and she spelled it out and said, please come to our country and enjoy our Omotenashi hospitality, which has got a deep-rooted meaning that we'll wholeheartedly look after our guests, come and feel it. Tokyo was picked up as the host for the 2020 Olympic Games. Okay. It's there. Nasake wa hito no tamenarazu, which means charity is a good investment. In Japan, there is a deep-rooted culture which comes from Sado, tea ceremony called Omotenashi, meaning to wholeheartedly look after guests. The term is a microcosm of the country itself. It represents the Japanese mindset of hospitality, centering around care rather than expectation. You're bound to feel the Omotenashi hospitality in your travels to Japan, especially at cultural experiences such as ryokan, Japanese style inns, kaiseki, Japanese banquet. Sado Omotenashi is considered as an important key word in hospitality and in service industry. They attach a great deal of importance to the ingredients and the earthen and porcelain tableware when providing meals to their guests. A sense of the season is also incorporated into the preparation of the guest room and the kimono dressing and okami, the madams of ryokan. The way they dress up in the kimono, which is representing the season, you can feel the hospitality. Now, this above is a picture that is taken by me. Here, you know, I was going to take some summer pictures, summer photographs, summer festivals of the Tohoku region. Now, in the region, when I got down from the station, the Japan Railways, their station, they organized from Omotenashi, without our expecting it, they were playing the Japanese traditional enka music, very delightful, soul-filling way of singing, and it needs very specialized people to sing enka. Not everybody can sing enka, and with their musical instrument, it is a treat to watch them and listen to them. So it is hospitality was provided, welcoming the guests in that place. Omotenashi is hard to define in English because to understand it's an experience in Japan in person. Omotenashi goes beyond the customer is always right. Rather, it is an implicit understanding that there are no menial tasks if the results ensure great experience for a guest. So, and this way, hospitality was arisen from the respect for nature of the Japanese who cherish the diverse aspect of the four seasons. A flower casually decorated in a vase remains a guest of the visit or their visit for that in that particular season. Such a way of entertaining guests is sophisticated omotenashi manner in Japan. No wonder seasonal flowers are a part of Japanese stamps under the theme Omotenashi. So the flower of the season makes them to understand the season by just looking at the flowers. So now these are the series of stamps that were released by the Japanese polos under the name Omotenashi, hospitality. They're all self-adhesive sheets, 52 yens and 80 yens. If you look at them, April 2004, there were 52 yen sheets, four of them, as satin, but there are 10 sheets in one sheet. But actually, it is, you can see, there are four sheets, four satin and pair of stamps, or they can also be taken as individual stamps, or four sheets in satin, they are there. And then the other one is April 3rd, 2014, and that is 82 yens. And they were all printed in offset 5 colors. The size is 18.5 by 22.5 millimeters vertical and 20 stamps. Starting from 2014, they ran a series of stamps called Omotenashi, building up the base for their 2020 Olympics. So you can see the Omotenashi Hospitality Flower Series, self-adhesive, 52 ends by. Again, you can see the different flowers. I given the names here. I don't want to read them, but 18.5 by 22.5 millimeters vertical. And each one of them had, you can see, 20 sheets in each of them, and 4 into 5 of them stamp. Omotenashi is what is written on the sides as Omotenashi no Hana. That means flowers of Omotenashi. And then they were running from 2014 to 2020. Again, Omotenashi sheets. This time the sheets are different size, 52 ends. That's a mini sheet now. And again, all of them are self-adhesive. You can just peel the stamp out of the sheet and fix it onto your thing. And again, Omotenashi Hospital flowers, you can see them released on April 1st, 2016. Okay. And both the sheets, the blue in color and then the pale pink in color, they both released on April 1st, 2016, 18.5 by 22.5 millimeters vertical. Sheet size is 67.5 by 187 millimeters vertical. Offset printed in 5 colors. Now, Omotenashi with flowers, you can see again. This is in July 15. 2016, July 15, 2016, 52 into 5 stamps, 82 into 5 stamps. They just split 52 and 82 differently. But the originally full sheet has become a mini sheet now. And then 2017, these stamps were released. And then 2018, 2017, again, Omotenashi stamps are there. I've shown you the 5 stamps and the sheets also. Here, the stamp size is the same like what I given. Now, these are after the Omotenashi stamps are released to make people feel the theme Omotenashi going into people's mind, including people like me who collect stamps. And then for the Tokyo Olympics, they release 3 sheets. 3 sheets with all the sports events are given in these sheets. The sports events that took place during the Tokyo Olympics 2020 and Paralympics are given here. Now, the events of 2020, if you can see, is one is basketball, archery, gymnastics, synchronized swimming, athletic, basketball, softball, baseball. These are used basketball and baseball, softball were introduced this year. And if you see, these stamps are 28 by 38.5 millimeters, and commemorative stamps, and all of them are 84 in face value. Then you have the next set of stamps which show beach volleyball, boxing, canoe salon, canoe spirit, and freestyle cycling, road race, equestrian, dressage on the using the horses, diving, track cycling, road cycling, and the mountain cycling. 3 of them the cycling, and then snow jumping, fencing, football, golf, handball, field hockey, rhythmic gymnastics, modern pentathlon, marathon swimming, karate sparring, karate kata, judo. One minute, let me put this back. Triathlon, volleyball, water polo, weightlifting, wrestling, and this shows the new national stadium. Very interestingly, last time I showed the new national stadium was built by demolishing the old stadium and building in its place a new stadium. And that's a souvenir sheet that you can see with the 500 stamp. 2021, June 23rd, these stamps were released. And then this 500 stamp was released on June 23rd, 45 by 33 millimeters, and it's a 500 stamp. This is the 2020 Olympic venues combined. You can see Japan is also very well known as a good sports country, and their architecture design, which always gets a touch of tradition and technology and the modern approach with a traditional mind, is always a great innovative way in which Japan does its structures. And these are the stamps that were released by different countries. The one on top is by US. For the 1964 Olympics, they were all commemorative stamps. Each different country is made, block of 4, and Paraguay and Roma. Only some of them are shown here. So that's about the 2020 Olympics, and then the Winter Olympics at Sapporo and Nagano, and Olympics and Paralympics of 2020, 2021. Thank you all very much for joining. We have another 3 more weeks to go through the 50 themes in 50 weeks. I would like to thank at this point of time the International Society for Japanese Philately and South India Philatelist Association, my own organization, ABK, which is Lusokai Tamil Nadu Center, and the staff of our center who have been behind my making this presentation successfully. And all of you, my audience who have joined me, thank you very much. And I also would like to wish all of you, and the members of the ISJP, Indian Society, International Society for Japanese Philately, and then SIPA, South Indian Philatelic Association, and my own organization, ABK Hotels, those are like its staff and the members and the teachers, and all other friends of mine and our organization, our well-wishers all over the world, and people who have been joining me as an audience for this presentation. A wonderful, happy, successful New Year 2023. Thank you all very much. See you in the next week in the new presentation. Thank you.